Okay, so in this video, we're continuing the discussion of the Heroes Inventory 3.0. We saw the last time how we set up the inventory vector, pushed sword, armor, and shield, and then we set up these two iterators. And in the last video, we used the const iterator to loop through the inventory vector, and we dereferenced iter each time to give us the actual string that's pointed to by the iterator. So the next line is this you trade your sword for a battle axe. We're going to print that out with cout. And the first thing we do is set my iterator to inventory begin. So the difference between iter and my iterator, iter is a const iterator, and my iterator is not a const iterator, it's just a plain old iterator. So what that means is that with my iterator, since it's not const, you can dereference it and change the value in the vector. So with a const iterator, you can iterate through the vector, but you can't make any changes to the vector. With a regular iterator, you can make changes. Like, and here's one example, which is dereferencing, and then setting that equal to battle axe. So that changes the. Because my iterator initially was set to inventory begin, then and we dereference my iterator and set it to battle axe, then the first element, begin, points us to the first element in the list, which is sword, so sword gets replaced by battle axe. Then we can use iter again because we're just typing out. So the reason why you'd want to use a const iterator is it makes it clear to somebody who's reading the code that you don't mean to make any changes to the vector. And also, if you're executing a piece of code where you have no intention of changing the vector, it's a safer thing to do. Then you know you're not going to accidentally change the vector. So for example, in here, you couldn't do something like iter equals shield or something. Okay, it wouldn't let you do that. So it says error, no operator equal matches these operands. So and specifically the operands are star iter and the literal string shield. Okay, you can't assign a literal string to the dereferenced iter because iter is a constant iterator. Okay, or yeah, okay. So the same, and you could have used my iterator here, the way you use iter, but if you changed my iterator without meaning to, the error wouldn't be caught by the by your IDE. Okay, or or your compiler, depending on what kind of environment you're working in. Let's see. So then here we're dereferencing my iterator, the item name my iterator. Again, at this point we know my star my iterator has been set to battle axe, right? So it says the item name has, and now we want to get the size of it. So you remember with when we were using arrays, we would name the array and the index into it. Let me see if I can just bring that up real quick. So when we wanted to get the size and had an inventory array, we would say inventory bracket 0, so indexing into the 0th element in the array, and then put our dot size, right? With 3.0, what we can do is we can dereference my iterator. We're going to put parentheses around it so that we can make sure that it's the dereferenced object, the string itself, that we're calling the method on. And then we say my iterator with parentheses around it dot size, and that gives us the size, okay? Or the star my iterator, the dereferenced my iterator. So another way to do that is these, and actually this line and this line do exactly the same thing. They're going to print out exactly the same size, but it's a little different way of writing things. So because we know that my iterator is a pointer into the vector, we can just write my iterator, and then we write this hyphen, greater than, to make it look like an arrow, because it's pointing to, since my iterator points to a specific string, and then then we get the size of that specific string. Okay, so that's just another way of doing the same thing. Call it syntactic sugar sometimes, because it makes it a little bit more digestible here. It looks a little bit cleaner than this. And then the next thing we do is we recover a crossbow from a slain enemy. So we're going to insert. So insert takes what? It takes an iterator, right? Inventory.begin. So it takes an iterator and a string, and it inserts crossbow at that point, at inventory begin. Okay. And now let's see. Okay, so and then now we loop through again and write everything out, and there we have the crossbow. So now we've been able to insert the crossbow into the beginning, because we have this iterator object, right? Or this iterator, yeah, that we can use. And what else do we do? Oh, and we can erase a particular object by using, again, using a iterator. So you erase, and you just give the iterator, so inventory.begin plus 2. So inventory.begin gives us the iterator that points to the first object in the list, and then plus 2 pushes us 2 over, right? So that's the one we're going to erase. So we erase out of there, and then we loop through and just show what we have left. Okay, so so this is a nice couple of things that you can do with iterators that you can't do without.